Hello, today is a good day because we have the Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail benchmark. And the benchmark is going to be pretty exciting for people, not only because they can test out their own PCs and see if they need any upgrades before the release of Dawntrail, but also we get to see all of those new features in character creation, which includes, of course, female Hrothgar. So first of all, you might be wanting to go and get the benchmark, go over to the Lodestone, and you will find it actually on one of the new posts. I will link this in the description. All you need to do is go on here and click on download the official benchmark. It will open a new tab of which it will tell you all about this. It does include the graphical update, so you can experience some of that. And basically, if you wanted to, you could even load your own character into the benchmark from the live game to see what it looks like in the benchmark footage. We'll show you how to do that in a moment. It has high definition 4K support, 5.1 channel surround sound, and female Hrothgar with multilingual support as well in Japanese, English, French, and German. So this is what you have to do. You download the zip, you uncompress it, you execute it, and pretty much those are the requirements. It is just under 4 gigabytes. So let's download this. We're on our streaming PC at the moment, so nice fresh install of Windows, hardly anything on this PC. So let's download that. You have to agree to obviously a license agreement. Typical stuff these days. It just means that there's no warranty for the benchmark software, liability, things like that, obviously. So yeah, also it's kind of like what you see within the benchmark is not necessarily representative of the final product, all that usual stuff. So once we have this downloaded, which is taking no time at all. All right, now we've got that, I'm going to move the file out of my downloads folder, and we're going to unzip it to somewhere that I actually want the benchmark to be, because it's quite a lot of, it's quite big considering. We're going to extract it all to our designated folder where I want it. Just as simple as that. Taking a little bit of time. Okay, with that unzipped, you'll see there's still the zipped version, and then there's the unzipped. If we go in the unzipped, you'll see an exe that looks like this. It's an application. We just simply run that, and then we'll have to agree to the license agreement. Again, feel free to read through that. Of course, guarantee not to run on all systems, all that stuff. I'm going to tick the never display again button and agree, and then this is what it's going to look like. So what you have here is the ability to visit the official website, to purchase the game, to start your free trial for 14, all those things. And then there's character creation. There's also a loop button as well. First though, you'll see there's a grayed out save score. You can save your score once you have ran the benchmark. And of course, if you press start, that will actually start the video playment of the actual benchmark itself. However, if you click on character creation, it'll bring up the character creator, funnily enough. If we click on settings, you'll see what we can set this to. So currently it's set to high desktop. Let's switch this to maximum. You can actually import your settings like that, and it will load the settings from Final Fantasy XIV if it can find it. But we're going to make sure that this is on the highest settings. So instead of FSR, we're going to go for DLSS because we have to choose between one of those. Frame rate threshold, we don't want that. No. Dynamic grass interaction. So this is obviously when you're pushing through grass, I believe. So we're going to have that. We don't want LOD on distant objects because that's low detail. Let's see, real-time reflections on the maximum setting. It's interesting you can set these to off. And then there's two other settings. Let's see, anti-aliasing. This is disabled when set to DLSS. Okay, the lighting quality. Look at the difference between a transparent lighting quality. It's like blurry, non-blurry. We got grass quality set to high. You can set this all the way to off as well. You can turn off the grass, which is quite interesting. I'm going to have this to high. parallax occlusion. We've got tessellation. We've got glare, and then we've got shadows display, other NPCs display. You don't want to click on the LOD models. Let's see. Shadow resolution is on high. Best cascading. Strongest softening. You can actually change this to the weakest as well on the PC, at least. You will not be able to change that on your PlayStation. If I remember correctly, that's one of the limitations. And then the maximum amount of shadows. Then we've got texture resolution. It has high and normal. We can go anisotropic. Wow, if I could speak. Anisotropic 16 times. Movement physics, you can turn it off if you wish to. We've got limb darkening and radial blur. I hate radial blur personally, so I'm going to turn that off. Let's see, GTAO plus quality. Okay, cool, that's fine. That's the ambient occlusion. Glare, and then water refraction on normal. And then we've got ourselves the card that we're going to be using, and we could change this between windowed, borderless, windowed, and so on and so forth. On this recording, unfortunately, we're going to have to set this to 1080p because we're currently capture carding this. It won't go higher than that anyway, so let's set that to borderless, windowed. And the sound settings, we can lower the master volume to about half, I think. And then on here, and we could make it so that it shows the best score. All right, and then once we're done with setting the settings to how we want them to be, the only thing I've really turned off here personally is radial blur. I really don't like radial blur. It's basically motion blur in my opinion, but everything else is set to maximum. We're going to have to do this in 1080p, just simply because obviously my capture card only allows up to that. So let's do it this way, and then we can start the benchmark if we want to. If we go to character creation first though, and basically it'll be the pre-made Midlander, which you see from the actual benchmark trailer, but you can create your own character. So if we go here, if you want to create a fresh character, just press OK. But if you have saved the appearance of your character, which you totally can do, when you go to actually edit your character, or if you've ever saved it, you can press this and it will actually find your installed folder and from a regular client and give you all of your save slots of any character you've ever saved. Simply find the one that you've created. I believe mine is called Fluffy Meoni from 2020 when I made some changes, and then press yes, and hey presto, there is your exact character. Admittedly in your race attire, not your actual attire from the live version, but what it would look like with the exact specifications from the live game in the Dawntrail update. This is huge, and I am over the moon with the differences. The first thing to actually notice, even with this lighting looking quite static here, is the actual fabric quality, especially on the skirt and things like that. If we zoom into the bottom half for a second, look at the quality of that. It doesn't look like the same starting attire, does it? The boots look incredible. The clasps on the side are higher resolution. If we go up to the bust area, which lets us zoom in, you'll see the real-time reflections off of the front of the character. And then, of course, we have ourselves our eyes there, which look so much cooler than I expected them to. The reflection look actually moving across the eye with where the sun is in relation. But of course, even the evening time, you've got the moon providing that moonlight as well. So you've got reflections from the moon, which is up there somewhere behind that tree, but you can see the reflection. Incredible. Another thing to bear in mind as well is they've changed the scenery as well. So you'll notice that everything is much higher quality around the character, which is just, the game looks amazing. I want to go and walk in that direction and see what it looks like now. Like, man. Exciting. So, yeah. Basically, you can see your own character. I'm personally very happy with how my character looks in, obviously, this particular preview. Now, it's not to say it's going to exactly look like this when the game goes live, but it's going to be pretty close to it, because as we all know, the character creator is a little bit different than the in-game, just slightly. In some cases more than others. And there's lighting in an in-room as well. You can change the time of day in every other location. The thing that really blows me away about this update, though, is the actual hairstyles as well. Like how well they've done to make even... Oh, by the way, you can access the new Midlanders hairstyle on your female characters as well, which is going to be cool. So hopefully we get that in the actual game. That's really cool. And then we have even the short hairstyles. Like you can see every single strand of hair. It looks so good. It really does. I've used that hairstyle before. Let's go back to Uldar or something. But just look how well it's dealing with the white. Typically white on hair just gets immediately washed out. It really does. I'm curious how highlights work now. Let's just toggle on some highlights and see if they look... Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so they're much more noticeable. Is that the highlight color that I would use? Probably something like that. Wow. Oh, look at the strands of hair. But yeah, obviously I could be on this all day, and I personally plan to, but we've got lots of other things to test, including the benchmark itself. So once you are happy with your character's hairstyle and appearance, make sure you press the confirm button at the bottom left here. And then you can choose to save the data. For example, if you've made a new character and you want to use it in the actual game, you can press save and bring it over. I've already saved this, so nope for me. Wait. Oh no, we have to save it, don't we? Right. So this is, we have to press the save button, and then we press it somewhere. Mio bench. Let's call it that. So make sure you save it, sorry, and then press OK. It will then take you back here, and instead of showing you the Midlander as an option, you've got your character. Then you can then choose between the gear sets. So here you can preview what gear sets look like. For example, there's the Viper artifact gear at level 100 on my character, obviously without a helm, so I don't know how the helm fits, but look at that. Unfortunately, you are still limited to being inside the Hydelin sort of crystal area, but you can get a good idea of what gear looks like. So there's the race specific. We've got the Dreadworm, some of the Dreadworm gear. Looking pretty cool. Ironworks gear. So obviously, we're going to be seeing a lot of the scouting gear, isn't it? Because of Viper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Falling Dragon gear. Ooh. Storm Elite. So you can get an idea of what these things look like. They are completely different than how they are currently in the game. So you'll see they've gone over these. I just wish the lighting was better in here. I thought we'd be able to click on the gear preview and take it somewhere else. But of course you can choose what gear they're in and then start the benchmark after you've saved it, so that then you can see them in this gear in the benchmark trailer, I believe. Oh, look at that. The Flame Elite gear. Holy moly. Genji gear. It's, again, very difficult to look at in this place, so we're not going to focus too much on it. Got the Omega gear. Yeah, that's the scouting stuff. The Hellhound stuff, look. If we've ever got any of that. Dwarven gear. So they've shown off quite a lot of different outfits here. And the glow up is incredible for some of them. I just wish the lighting was doing it justice. So you can see the Eden Morn stuff. We've got Anabasios gear. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at the Anabasio stuff. Wow. Even in this very badly lit area, that looks awesome. Legacy gear. Don't know if much has changed there. I can't really tell. Wild Rose. We've got the Moonwood gear. What else we got? We've got the Strife attire. Leonhardt. Tantalus stuff. High Summoners. Oh, there's the Meteor attire. Nice. Nice. Oh, look at the reflections on that. Wow. We could be in the swine suit. The Lucian Princess stuff. So yeah, I think what we want to do... Okay, I want to see my character in that outfit there. So let's press confirm there. And then what will happen is it will save that information. It will close. Okay, with that being saved, we can now press the start button. We're going to have some metrics on screen. Obviously, we're going to run this in maximum mode. So if we go in here, I'm going to set this to maximum. I would typically turn off the motion blur personally if it was just me, but we're going to go without that and just have it on maximum. And then, unfortunately, we're kind of bottlenecked a bit with what we've got because we have to be at 1080p for my capture card. But, so yeah, expect a slightly lower score than if we were to have the full access to, you know, a much higher resolution. But you'll be able to see your character in the gear set that you'd actually set up. So, for example, mine will be in the Omega set. And you will also see the weapons for that set on your character for Viper. So if you want to preview the weapons for Viper from like the Omega attire, stuff like that, let's bring up the performance overlay in NVIDIA. Then you will actually see them on the back of your character and also when they're in combat. But let's enjoy this together. Looks so good. That glaive looks so good on the Omega attire. I might have to farm out some weapons, like boxes, especially go do Omega for the coffer. Get one for Picto as well, and a few other places. Definitely a top tip for you to do. Get some glam for your future jobs. Very cool stuff. I think I saw it dip down to what, 120 FPS or something like that, probably something like that, the lowest. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm okay with that. Obviously, we want to mess around with some other settings, things like that, and try it on other machines. And obviously, in 1080p, that's not really. You saw how heavily it was using the GPU rather than like what 13% of the CPU. So it's not the best test in the universe, but it's what I could capture using my capture card, unfortunately. So I typically play in 1440p when I'm playing on my normal PC. But yeah, this is the PC I bought and set up for streaming with. But yeah, let me know what your score is. And of course, you know, if you want to compare it to mine in at 1080p and be pushed all the way down and bottlenecked, definitely join in. But yeah, it's good fun, isn't it? Really good fun. And I miss the benchmark times. I'm glad they're back. We could save the score here, and then we have access to that in the future. But yeah, in the next video, we're going to look at the character creation for female Hrothgar. So stay tuned for that. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, the benchmark's a lot of fun. It really is. Looks like my PC will be just fine. Don't know about the other PCs, though. We're going to have to test Franz out in a bit.